Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fico, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about my reaction to a trailer that I just saw just a few moments ago. It's for a brand new movie coming out in the summer of 2015 that's called Pixels. It's described as an action comedy sci-fi, and this is the synopsis of the movie. Apparently, when aliens misinterpret video feeds of classic arcade games as a declaration of war, they attack the Earth in form of the video games. And, well, here's another description. In Pixels, when intergalactic aliens misinterpret video feeds of classic arcade games as a declaration of war against them, they attack the Earth using the games as models for their various assaults. President Will Cooper has to call on his childhood best friend, 80s video game champion Sam Brenner, played by Adam Sandler, who now is a home theater installer, to lead a team of old-school arcaders, which sadly I have to say it's Peter Dinklage and some dude called Josh Gad, to defeat the aliens and save the planet. Joining them is Lieutenant Cole Violet Van Patten, which is played by Michelle Monaghan. I'm sorry to hear that you're in this movie. A specialist supplying the arcaders with unique weapons to fight the aliens. Oh, by the way, the president is played by Kevin James. And of course, his best friend is Adam Sandler, because that is what you get every time you see these movies. Now, the movie is directed by Chris Columbus. Now, what has Chris Columbus done? Well, he's best known for working with the Goonies, first two Harry Potter movies, which I really liked, and he also worked with Gremlins. But look what else he's worked with. He's worked with Night of the Museum 3, he worked with Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters, which people who read the books said that was probably one of the worst movies they've ever seen. The first Percy Jackson movie, I Love You, Beth Cooper. The second Night of the Museum. The second movie in the Fantastic Four dual shit monster that it was. I mean, these are all productions that he done, but if you go to, to director, I mean, he's directed a few of these, and there are a couple of more that he's here. Let me just put it this way. He's better as a director than he is as a producer, and well, he's also, it looks as though, well, he's not producing this one, so thank at least that. But Chris Columbus is definitely a hit or miss kind of guy. But overall, let me just give you my impression of the actual trailer that I saw. It is probably one of the most unfunniest trailers that I've seen. It's just a bunch of game characters, like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, the Galaga ship, and the ships in Galaga all around, swarming a la Independence Day style, and they kill things by turning them into pixels, little squares or whatever. And yeah, they've got things like, they got the original creator of Pac-Man going and looking at Pac-Man as saying, I could talk to him, he's my son, he's my creation. And then he get his arm chopped up, and then you hear an obviously audio dubbed Asian accent, fake Asian accent, like from off screen. I mean, the movie looks so retarded. I mean, and the story's premise, okay, you're calling a bunch of people who played arcade games as if the whole world doesn't know who these guys are. I mean, we get it, Adam Sandler. You're old. Nobody knows how old. I think everybody knows how old you are. But in this movie, it's like nobody knows anything because nobody is old and old school like Adam Sandler, because he's an arcade champion. And of course, the president, who's played by Kevin James, he's an idiot and a moron. And he's like, oh, hey, I know. I'll call that one guy that I used to know who used to be a champion in these games, and he'll devise the entire defense to stop these arcade video game characters. However, it's obvious that these were obviously designed by aliens. I'm thinking and looking into this way too much, but it's just looks so stupid. It looks so dumb. And Peter Dinklage, what are you doing in this movie? What are you doing with Adam Sandler? All he does is ruin careers and turns you into his lackey that puts you into every movie. You don't want to become the next David Spade or Nick Swartzen or the next guy that shows up in every single one of his movies and then you're known as another Adam Sandler actor. I mean, come on. You're freaking Tyrion Lannister. You're known as the guy that takes roles, but you don't take roles because they're midget roles. I mean, you take good roles. You're a great actor. You're the best actor in that whole freaking trailer. What are you doing in that fucking movie? I mean, when you thought that, I was thinking to myself, this summer looks amazing. What's missing? Oh, I know, another Adam Sandler movie that is unfunny, that's completely irrelevant, that he does the same jokes, Kevin James, he does the same jokes, and they're like, oh, and I predict this movie, it's gonna be like, let's do all of that, but since Adam Sandler is also a writer in this movie, let's also add a bunch of old video game humor. Is like, oh, you know how video games used to be. Oh, and like now video games are all about killing people and shooting people and like, ha ha ha, ironic how the things that didn't used to be considered so badly are now killing us. Yeah, that shows how non-violent those games used to be, right? Come on. This is obviously going to be just another bottom up the barrel, paint by numbers, lowest common denominator humor that's not going to have any wit, that is not going to have any funnies, and I honestly don't expect anything good coming out of this movie. I really, really don't. I mean, for those of you who are a fan of Adam Sandler, and I have to admit, I cannot dislike the Mulder movies that I've seen from him. I do like Happy Gilmore. I like Billy Madison. It's the same. It's like we like Adam Sandler for the movies he's done before, but this movie is retarded. This is obviously they wanted to take the big blockbustery approach this time. Instead of doing the same thing he always does, he figures, why not just do a big blockbuster? And he's obviously not having the people that he worked with before doing these, because I don't see Dennis Duggan or whoever his best friend director is, if it's not Dennis Duggan, direct this kind of a movie before. I don't think it could be a summer blockbuster movie. I doubt it. I doubt that he can do that. Obviously, I do not think that him and his company are talented enough to carry a movie that's going to compete with other movies in the blockbuster. But you know what? They'll do it because they figure Adam Sandler plus video games has to equal success. No, I honestly don't think this movie is going to get good reviews. Take the good approach. We've already had a movie like this. It's called Wreck-It Ralph. You don't need another one of these because like, oh, you know, like Wreck-It Ralph, it was good. Let's try to do that. But let's put Adam Sandler in it because he's a comedian, right? He knows how to make people laugh. No, I didn't chuckle. I mean, I kind of chuckled a little bit when I saw the Galaga ship at the beginning. And yeah, they look like, oh my god, they're actually in this movie. Well, that's how you make a video game based movie when you have to have characters that don't have a story. You just put them in this world and you introduce a premise so ridiculous that you be like, oh, that's how you get them there. You send a message to aliens, they think of it as a threat, and then be like, you know what would be funny? We'll send them an attack and we'll model everything on next to those things that they designed, those evil pixel things, those video games. Of course, having the narrative that, oh, you see, video games are bad because if you send them to space aliens, they'll come back back and they'll kill us all. Totally going to be accepted by everybody, especially by those special you-know-who's that love talking good about video games all the time. You know, the ones that make us specific things with no proof. You know, this is what we needed. A movie that gives them more to talk about. But honestly, as much as I am talking now, I will not be surprised if this movie ends up becoming a major financial success because, well, this isn't really a video game movie. Well, it is a video game movie, but it isn't based off of another video game. This is just video games as the main premise, and obviously the people who are doing this movie that they're not going to have a clue what video games are. Obviously, this is just going to be like, oh, you know, you put video games in your movie and it's going to be kind of fun, and if you like Adam Sandler, you're going to know exactly what kind of humor, what kind of jokes. He's gonna be like the big kid, never grows up kind of role. You know, Kevin James is gonna be a dumb fat one and blah blah blah. Roll down the hill. In fact, that's kind of like the way that like the Donkey Kong barrel rolls down. That's your movie. The Donkey Kong barrel is up in the top, and you're kind of sort of, oh, okay, yeah, and then it rolls downhill. It really doesn't. I mean, it may be just me. I'm actually seeing people on Facebook actually rave about this movie. No, it does not look funny at all. That is just my opinion. I could be wrong if I go see it. I mean, I think I'll only see it if somebody buys me a ticket and I'll go see it. And if I see it and I like it, I'll review it on this channel. I usually use my personal channel, the other one that doesn't have that much attention to, and I focus on other stuff that has nothing to do with video games. Because this one will have video games in it, I think I'll focus. If I ended up seeing it and it ends up being good, I will definitely do it here. But just for the sake of, if it's not good, I'll definitely come to this channel and rip it a new asshole. It deserves, because I think the people in this channel have been wanting a good movie with video games in them, and Wreck-It Ralph seems to have been the last one that I've noticed. Everything before then has been a somewhat better, but not nearly enough quite there to make it a good one, and the Resident Evil movies don't count because those movies are shit. In my book, those movies are shit on top of shit, and I'm so happy that the last one is coming out soon, maybe next year. Just finish it all off. That's it. That's all I needed to say. That's all I wanted to say. Kind of ranted a little bit. I only wanted to just give you quick impressions, but when it comes to things that you're passionate about, sometimes it's better to just ramble a little bit and then just kind of go, hey, tap yourself on the shoulder. You think you better stop because you're gonna start retreading. So that's it. That's all. I'm gonna leave a link down below to the video of the trailer for this soon-to-be declared monstrosity coming out in summer, along with the other great movies in the summer, because of course you need a shitty movie coming out in the summer, because if you're gonna blow it, you better blow it big in summer. If you're gonna make it big in summer, but if you're gonna blow it, why not just blow it on that? I'm gonna leave that link down below, and of course, watch the trailer. Let me know what you guys think down at the bottom. And as always, thank you so much for watching. My name is Fico. This has been my gaming mind. Peace out.